In the ancient days of 1995, a terrible evil was birthed unto the lands of Magic the Gathering. That evil? Homelands, the most reviled set in Magic the Gathering history.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The Magic Historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends. I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered for a historical opening of epic proportions. If you have never seen Homelands before, this is going to be your first opportunity. Imagine a Magic set that literally introduces no new mechanics to the game, doesn't improve on existing mechanics, and ultimately entirely flops based on the power level and abilities of the cards. Literally, the only thing that Homelands has to recommend itself is incredible flavor and lore. So, today we're going to be taking a look at a non-English pack of Homelands. So this is going to be the fun of seeing ancient Magic history, but also a memory test for me, which will be exceedingly difficult because these cards are dreadful, so why would I remember what they do? Anyways, let's dive in. One of the most interesting aspects for me of these historical openings is getting the opportunity to take a look at old school Magic packaging. So I want to take a moment to highlight the differences between this English pack of Homelands and the French pack of Homelands that we're going to be opening in this video. So some of these differences are minor. You're going to notice that the deck master that's printed down here is actually printed in a bigger style here and is done in a brighter concept as well. In terms of the 8 tradable game cards that are listed down here on the pack, it's been more centered on the French pack. There's a bigger difference on the back. When you take a look at the back, you can see that this one right here has all of the different color mana symbols included in the copyright information. This French printing, which was afterwards, they decided they didn't need to do that, and it's all kind of lumped in. So I'll read the description for you off of the English booster since I can't speak French. It says, hidden away by a mysterious wizard for generations, the forgotten world of Homelands awaits discovery. And if you didn't know, that's actually true. The wizard Pharaohs, the planeswalker Pharaohs, basically set up this magical barrier around the world of Homelands so that he could live there and protect the world from planeswalkers who had ravaged the world and destroyed its inhabitants. Absolutely crazy stuff happened in this little backwater plane. So, revealed within are many peoples, cultures, and creatures in a realm of complex allegiances and sinister plots. What secrets will you uncover as you venture into Homelands? And look at that price tag, $1.75. And this is actually a set where there are only 8 cards per booster pack. And the set only has commons and uncommons. The set was printed only on 2 different sheets. It's the only set that ever had that happen. And as a result, you have a situation where you have only commons and uncommons, but some of the commons are quite uncommon, and some of the uncommons are actually rare. It's a really weird time in Magic's history. So, with no further ado, let us dive in and see just how much my brain remembers of this ancient set. Alright, so we're going to test my skills. Okay, so we've got Koskin Keep. Hold on, let me get a little closer here. All right, and up on the side, I'll put the English version for you as well. So this is Koskin Keep. This one's pretty easy. You got the Koskin in the name, right? So this is Koskin Keep. This is a land, part of a 5-land cycle. It taps to add a colorless mana. Or for 1 mana, you can add a red mana to your mana pool. For 2 mana and tap it, you can add a black mana to your mana pool. And for 2 colorless and tapping it, you can add a green to your mana pool. So basically, 1 mana will let you get a red, and 2 will let you get a black or a green. This is a really old school concept for a filter land, right? Now the artwork is pretty funky. Look at that, man. You got the keep door, you've got the shadow of somebody who's ready to try and get in there, and then you've got somebody who apparently tried a long time ago. It's got some decent flavor, although you know what's funny? Is this right here, the handle, it kind of looks like a smiley face in the middle, doesn't it? If you look at it. Anyways, this is the type of land action you would get at the beginning of Magic. And honestly, to try and get multiple colors out of it, I saw people using lands like this. But this is the kind of garbage that we're going to be looking at, right? Then we've got, what is this? Black Carrots. This is a weird one. It's like 2 black and 3. This is a 4/4, I'm guessing probably like a spirit. So I'm going to say this is a 4/4 trampler. It doesn't untap during your untap phase normally. So you don't get to untap it normally. And 0 mana, sacrifice one of your creatures to untap this creature. And I'm guessing because we're dealing with Homelands and things were so bad back in the day, that sacrifice probably has to be done in the upkeep. So that's what I'm going with. Sack a creature during the upkeep to untap it. Doesn't untap as normal. 4/4 trample. This was actually one of the bigger, beefier creatures from Homelands, right? And I think that this is a carriage that is in service of the family of Sengers, because Baron Senger is from this set. And if you didn't know, he's not originally from Homelands. He's somebody who was transplanted by a planeswalker summoning him to the plane and abandoning him there. Absolutely nutty flavor, man. All right, so what do we have after that? We've got, what is this? Dark Maze? 1 blue and 4 for a 4/5 wall. If you don't know how walls work, they have the rule text built into them. They have Defender. So this one has the ability 0, essentially, I don't know exactly what the new wording would be, but Dark Maze can attack as if it wasn't a wall this turn, but at the end of turn, you have to sacrifice it. So that's the idea. You can use this as a one-shot swing in wall, but if you do so, it's gone. And it's hilarious to think of a 4/5 for a blue and 4 that does that, right? It's like, wait, what? I gotta pay 5 mana for a 4/5 that can only block, and if I want to swing with it, I lose it? I mean, you guys gotta be getting an idea of why this set was so reviled, right? That 4/4 trampler we just looked at is on the higher end of the power scale, right? So what's next? After that, we've got, this is actually a solid card. We have Memory Lapse. 1 blue and 1 for an instant, although back in the day it was interrupt, and in French it's interruption. If you didn't know about that, it was funky. You'd literally just be like, okay, I'm doing this. No, I'm going to interrupt what you're doing to counter it. Interrupts really don't need to exist. The game works perfectly with everything just being instants, right? But it was an interesting time. Anyways, Memory Lapse is 1 blue and 1, counter target spell, but instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard, put it on top of their deck, right? And the artwork shows a very funky concept for a Memory Lapse, where it's like your mind is a puzzle, and you can see the different puzzle pieces floating away. Now, this is definitely on the high end of the power scale when it comes to Homelands. This is an actually genuinely playable card. When this came out, the tempo thieving that you can do with it, where you're like, yo, no, put that back on top of your deck. It's not happening. It's surprisingly strong. At first glance, you might go, well, why wouldn't I want to just hard counter it? But the fact that you can just do it for a blue and 1 is actually decent, or at least it was back in the day. Memory Lapse it's all right now. It's still a decent power level. It hasn't been completely outshined by current level era stuff, but this is the higher level stuff you'll find in Homelands. Then we've got, Cemetery Gate. What a weird one. 1 black and 2 for a 0/5 wall that has protection from black. Oh, cool. Protection contra le noir. I'm protected from noir. Are you like a crime thriller movie? Are you a noir movie? I'm protected from you. It's from Murat the Psychopomp. What? Oh man, that's cool. So, yeah, this is a really weird choice, and actually, there are multiple artworks of this. So there's another Cemetery Gate where it shows an undead literally, like, at the gate, and then that makes sense with the protection from black, where it's like, the reason this has protection from black is so that if zombies rise up, they can't smash down the gates, right? Which is pretty neat from a flavor perspective, but let's be very clear. A 1 black 2 0/5 protection from black wall is pure garbage. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're going up against another black deck and you can pull some silly shenanigans with, you can't get by my wall, but good, man, it's crazy to think back to the old days of Magic and the jank that we played with. Because I remember people putting this out on the table. Wow. Anyways, you know what? The artwork, did we talk about it? You got a Cemetery Gate. It's kind of snowy or whatever. It gives the right feel, honestly. Like, in terms of flavor for the card, it all ties together pretty well. Especially with the other artwork. Then we've got, what are these guys? Brine? I want to say Brine Pirates. Okay, I'm going to go with Brine Pirates. 2 blue and 1 for a 2/2 Pirates, I'm guessing. I don't think that they had, it's not Merfolk, right? Okay, so what do these guys do? What is it? Something like, okay, it's when they attack, it's some kind of effect, right? What do they do, though? When they attack, it's not going to be damage, right? No. Oh, wait. Is this a mill, dude? Is that what this guy does? It's like, if you hit your opponent, oh, no, he's going to be something terrible, isn't it? It's not going to be something as good as when you hit your opponent, mill a card. It's going to be something dreadful. Like, if this creature attacks and isn't blocked, instead of it doing damage, mill like 1 card off your opponent's deck. Maybe 2. Or 1, I'm going to say 1, because Homelands was so bad. I'm going to say this card is that awful. 3, I'm going to say Brine Pirates, 2 blue and 1 for a 2/2 that says, when I attack, if I'm unblocked, mill 1 card off the defending player's deck. Good Lord, that is dreadfully bad, isn't it? Man, the flavor, though, the artwork, look at that guy. That is an intense looking pirate. I can't even tell exactly what he's supposed to be. Like, what particular type of beings are these, right? Are these dwarves? Oh, they're probably dwarves. They look intense. If you guys didn't know, the dwarves of the world of Homelands are absolutely crazy. Because what happened was, there's all these epic things that happened on the world of Ulgrotha or whatever, right? Like, that's what the place is called. It means garden. And you've had like planeswalkers show up and draw crazy amounts of magic through portals and lay waste to large amounts of the plane. You had Grandmother Sendra, who has the Apocalypse Chime, who rings it out, and it results in almost everybody in the entire world losing their life. Just everybody's gone. And then the world gets repopulated through the little bit of people who are left over. But then other events, like an ancient dwarven civilization that's going deep mining, and they deep mine through a planar portal, and they actually end up in the world of ulgrotha and set up a huge dwarven kingdom. But then they end up losing that dwarven kingdom. But then you've got all these dwarves that are now seafarers. So you've got dwarves that live out upon the waters in other parts of the world, but they all know that they came to this world from another world through a planar portal, and they keep it as a secret. So the dwarves of the world aren't letting other people who live there know, yo, there are actually other planes of existence. We're from an entirely another world. So these are dwarves from a plane of existence that, as far as I recall, we have never even been to. And they are definitely distinctive looking dwarves, right? So we got some kind of flavor text down here by Baron Sanger. Zeki commands equipage to covet. Okay, hold on. I'm going to guess that the flavor text, reading the French, it probably says something like, Zeki outfits and equips a crew of the dead because she's pragmatic or something like that, right? That's me guessing based off of like trying to interpret the flavor text, so whatever. Anyways, let's move on to the next card, my friends. The next card is, Samite Alchemist. Okay, yeah, I believe it's Samite Alchemist. 1 white and 3 gets you a 0/2. Summon Alchemist? Summon Cleric? Alchemist, yeah. 2 white and tap. Prevent the next 4 damage that would be dealt to target creature you control. And then, there's more to it. It's you get to prevent up to 4 damage to a creature you control, but then it's probably like that creature doesn't get to untap next turn because the Samite's like healing them or whatever. I'm guessing that's the flavor. So 2 mana tap, prevent up to 4 damage, the creature doesn't untap. It's so funny to think back in the day that this effect, whoa, wait a minute, I can prevent up to 4 damage? That's a lot of damage! Like, this is just complete garbage. The artwork's fun, though. You've got an alchemist there doing the alchemy. It's funny, too. You think about alchemy, and you think about turning lead into gold and treasure and all that stuff. Not, like, healing people, right? Weird. Anyways, what's next? It's Chandler! All right, Chandler is 1 red and 4 for a 3/3 legend. Him and Joven are, like, kind of like a pair, because one likes to destroy artifacts, and one likes to destroy non-creature artifacts. So one destroys artifact creatures and one destroys non-artifact or non-creature artifacts. There we go. That's it. One hates artifacts, one hates artifact creatures. So 1 red and 4 for a 3/3 legend. 3 and tap him. Destroy. Okay, so he's the creature artifact one because it says right there creature. So 3 and tap. Destroy target artifact creature. And then the flavor text is from Revica. Oh, Revica is she is an ancient seafaring dwarf. She's like the leader of the dwarves or something like that, or one of their like high-ranking members. It's funny. This is just Chandler. Like the artwork is always. It's like okay, so it's just a dude hanging out in I assume a church because of the stained glass, and he's got these keys. How does this equal like smashing up artifact creatures? I hate artificial life so much. It's like all right. I never understood the flavor of him, and I always felt like Joven was better because Joven destroys non-creature artifacts and artifact creatures, especially back in his day, unless it was like the Colossus of Sardi or something, artifact creatures were garbage you didn't even really want to waste your time with. So, I don't know, man. I love going through these old school cards, and it is fun having the additional challenge of trying to sort out if I actually know which one is which. So, I hope you enjoyed this, my friends. Big shout out to all of my patrons. Thank you for supporting the channel. And I will see all of you, my friends, in the next video.